Yes. So the program was, we have to write a program to find the position as well as the value of maximum element present in the array. So initial things I believe you can do. So I am just writing the main method. So we are declaring a class test. Okay, fine. So we will declare a class test. Inside the class, we will have our main method. So it will be public static void main, and we will have string args, if I am not wrong. Then we have to declare the size of the array. So we will have an integer int n. We will have other variables too, but for the time being, let us consider we are having just the variable n. We will keep adding the variables. Then we have to make an object of the scanner class. So scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. Now we have to declare an array. So it will be int a is equal to new int n, right? Then we have to fill the array, so we need a variable by which we will run the loop. So for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, so it will be ai is equal to sc dot next int. I believe you are getting what I want to say. So by this line of code, what we are doing? We are filling the array, right? Yes. Then we will initialize the maximum element as the first element, that is a0. So we will have a variable called max, and we will have a variable called max idx, and then we will have max idx is equal to 0. Then again we will run the loop for I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. If a of I is greater than max, so I am getting an element which is greater than our previous max, then what I need to do is I need to just say max is equal to a of I, and max idx is equal to I. I believe till this point everything is clear, and then system dot out dot println, and just print the two things, that is max and again system dot out dot println, and then you have to print max idx. So this is the code. So I believe this semicolon will not be here, rather we will put the semicolon here. Okay, so this is the code. And now let us see a running example. So suppose we are having an array 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Suppose this is our array. Okay, so initially, what will this line of code do? Since max is equal to a0, so we will have max is equal to how much? So we will have max is equal to 2, and max idx, that will be equal to 0, because we have mentioned that max idx is equal to 0. This is the initial case. Now when the loop starts, so when this loop starts for I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. So in our case, the value of n is how much? The value of n is 5. Oh, I am very sorry. I have missed a statement here. I have to write here n equal to sc dot next int. So I have missed that. You just write n equal to sc dot next int. So this is how we read the line. Okay, so this is what the statement n equal to sc dot next int will just follow this statement scanner sc equal to new scanner system dot in. Okay, anyways, so for I equal to n, I less than n, I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. So the initial value of ai is 3 because I is equal to 1. Now since you can see here, yes, now since ai that is 3 is greater than the maximum, current maximum 2, we will say that max is equal to ai. So max becomes 3. And max idx equal to I. So max idx or max index becomes 1. Again, we will proceed and now you can see that this 1 is not greater than 3. So we will not do anything here. Again, you can see that this 4. This 4 is greater than 3. So maximum element will be 4 and maximum idx will be what? It will be 3 because for this element the value of I is 3. Then again we will proceed and see that 5 is greater than 4. So since 5 is greater than 4, maximum value will be 5 and max idx will be how much? It will be 4. So finally, when this loop ends, your maximum value that will be printed is 5 and the maximum idx that will be printed is 4. So find the problem is write a program to print this pattern. So we have to print this pattern. Again, I will just start from this class part. I will not import the files. I know you can do that, please. Okay, fine. So we will have a variable called n. We will have I. We will have j. So n will decide how many row we have, and the columns are decided accordingly. So if we have 4 rows, we will have 4 columns, isn't it? If we have 8 rows, we will have 8 columns. So since the pattern is in the form of a square, we don't need the value of both length and breadth. Only one side is sufficient, and we will store that side in the variable n. So now we are making an object of scanner class. Okay, since I have made the object of scanner class, now what I will do, I will take the user input. Okay, fine. Then again, for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than n, and j plus plus. And I have to print system dot out dot prints. Be very careful. I am not writing print ln. I am just writing print. The reason is that I don't want to change the line after every print. I want to change the line whenever a row gets over. So whenever this inner loop terminates, I will print it. So I will, after the inner loop terminates, I will just change the line. And that's it. So this is the code for this program. So we are taking inputs. So the length of this or the side of this square will be stored in the variable n. We will iterate from I equal to 0 to n. Why 0 to n? In our case, it is 0 to 4 because we have to print 4 rows. So I is responsible for printing the rows, whereas j is responsible for printing the columns. And since the number of rows and for each row we have 4 columns, therefore in the nested portion, what we have done is we have written this j portion for j equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus, and we have printed this star. Now notice very carefully here we have written system.out.print and not system.out.println. Why we have written just print? Because after every print we don't want to change the line. So suppose we have a star here, I want to print the next star just after it and I don't want to change the line. Therefore, I have not used println. Whenever this row gets over, whenever I have printed all these 4 stars, I will change the line and I will use the command, or I will use this thing system.out.println, and we will change the line, and in a similar pattern we will print all the 4 rows or the n rows, whatever will be the case. Okay, so it is a program where we have to print this triangular pattern. Program is very simple. What we have to do, just make the class. We will have a class called test. Inside the class, we will have public static void main. Is it okay? I guess the answer is yes. Now, after this, what I need to do is I have to declare a variable in n. Now you can see that this is an isosceles, right angled isosceles triangle where the this side is equal to this side. Yeah, the perpendicular is equal to the base. Okay, so where the perpendicular is equal to the base, so this is a right angle isosceles triangle. Am I right? Yes, the answer is yes. So we don't need both the sides, with just a single variable will do. And then I have to make an object of scanner class. I guess this is perfect. Oops. Okay, so I will not be able to write here. I have to write it again. Okay, I will write it again. Okay. We also need the loop variables, so I and j. Then we have to make an object of the scanner class. Scanner is c is equal to new scanner system.in. So I hope things are clear till this point. Now n equal to sc dot next in for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So this will be for the rows, or in your case you can tell it the perpendicular or the base, whatever you tell this line, whether it is perpendicular or base, no issue. So I am telling it rows in terms of computer terminology. So these are the rows. So this I will, or the outer loop is responsible for the rows. So here is the slight change. So for j equal to 0, j less than equal to I, j plus plus, and I have to do here system dot out dot print. Okay, and when this inner loop terminates, that means the row changes, and when the row changes, I have to change the line. Therefore, into system dot print ln, and the program is done. So let us see how this program works.